Season's 2 days away. How are you feeling about this group, and what do you think you can accomplish this over the course of a season?
Yeah, I think we're excited. Obviously, first game of the season is always an exciting time, and you look to see if the players can execute what you've worked on during the pre-season. So yeah, we've been waiting. It's been a long pre-season. Put a lot of work in. The players have had a lot of information given to them. So we're ready. Today and tomorrow is really about just taking over and making sure we're ready for the game on Saturday.
The expectations in-house are always higher than they are around the league. Around the league, there's not, people aren't picking your team very high. What do you think could change minds, or why do you think you'll be better than what people think?
Even being honest, I don't care what people think, as long as myself, the players, the staff, we know what our expectations are, we know what we're aiming to achieve, and I don't really look at myself, I don't really look at other teams and what they're doing. We're really focused on us, and for us it's just about going out and trying to be certainly a lot better than we was over the course of last season. Our goals, of course, I'm sure like any other team, is to try and make playoffs. So that's what we're trying to do, but really our focus is on Toronto on Saturday. That's our main focus, and to try and start the season on a positive.
How's Benteke fitting in since he was a late arrival to camp? Yeah,
he's been fine. He's been good. He's obviously been part of the Leeds team for the first half of their season. But no, he's fitted in really well. He's a likable guy. He's fitted in with the group really well, and I know he's just as excited as anyone to get started. He's really fitted into the culture of DC. I know he's been in the city quite a few times, basketball, hockey games. So I think he's really settled in quite well.
Any other questions in the room?
Hi, thanks for taking some time today. What do you think of the new MLS playoff format?
Yeah, I think you focus on that one when you get there. I think for us, getting to the playoffs is the main priority. So and whether that changes slightly this year, next year, years gone by, doesn't really matter. The priority is to try and get there, and then you're in a knockout competition. So we just focus on trying to get there first.
The league took some steps this off-season with the new TV deal. There's a new team coming in St. Louis. Some players have come and go as they do every year. How do you see the league now compared to maybe a few years ago when you first arrived as a player?
Yeah, I think it's certainly took huge steps from when I was here as a player. I think getting someone as big as Apple in, obviously to show all the games is huge for the league, I think, and I think it's been exciting for everyone to have Apple in. We're still waiting for our equipment off Apple to use on pitch side, which we got told we get given, but unfortunately that hasn't come to us. So hopefully that comes in time for the game. Otherwise, we have to use our own stuff.
Is it laptop stuff or?
Yeah, no, just the general equipment, watches, iPads, which we told we were getting, but we're still waiting.
Brian, you can go ahead with 2 questions now.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi, mate.
Thanks for speaking with us today. Hope you're doing well.
No problem.
I wanted to ask a little about Matai Akamboni. Obviously, last year he came in, played some straight away, not long after he signed the homegrown contract. Obviously, at his age, there's so much that a defender's going to have to add to his game. I was wondering, when you sent the team away for the offseason, were there any things that you were specific with him that you wanted to see, and how has he developed both this winter and then in the preseason?
Yeah, I think it's easy to forget he's still a 16-year-old, so he's got a lot to learn. But I think what we've seen from him is a lot of potential, a lot of maturity to his game, and there's of course there's a lot he can improve on. He's still developing, so he's a very exciting player for us. In off season, Matai, Koo, Luis, they went out to Swansea and they spent some time at Swansea. I think just it was important they didn't switch off for a few months as they're still developing, and I know that time has really benefited the three of them. They've come back and they've been excellent in pre-season, and Matthias has certainly he's grown a lot during the off season in terms of his stature, his figure. He's come back stronger. He's come back a lot fitter, which last year he was a 15-year-old slash 16-year-old boy, and he's come back really a more developed player. So we've been delighted with his progress certainly throughout the pre-season.
Appreciate it, Wayne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jose.
Hey Wayne, thanks for taking time to talk to us.
Hi.
The goalkeepers have been battling, based on everything we've read and reported, for the starting job. What is the likelihood that you have found your forever starter, and how do you see the battle thus far since the pre-season to now?
Yeah, I think all three goalkeepers have done well, and it's important that you have competition for places. That's not just the goalkeepers, that's the outfield players as well. So no, I've been pleased with all three goalkeepers. It's always nice when players make your job harder of which player you pick. So and of course that's my role now to pick the one I feel is the right one for the game on Saturday to come in and play. So yeah, I've been pleased with all three of them, and if I'm being honest, I'd be confident in putting any one of the three in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next, we'll go to Ryan.
Thanks, Wayne, for taking the time. I know the weather's noticeably nicer than it was the last time that we were all together doing this. There's been some talk about maybe like potentially loaning down a couple of players to Loudoun. I know that there may be some discussions that may need to go on, and I know that the process is different than it was before, that they can't just kind of like one off. If they're going to go, they're going to go for the year. I was wondering if there was any sort of update on that, or if it's even in consideration at this point.
Yeah, well, obviously, as you said, it is different. I think players can go down to Loudoun, and where last year we had the flexibility of dropping them down and bringing them back up on a more regular basis. This year we have to be a bit more calculated in how we do that. As far as I'm aware, we can put players down at Loudoun now, well by tomorrow at 8 p.m. And if we need to bring them back up, they come back up and they stay with us. So it's not we haven't got that flexibility that we had last year.
Next, we'll go to Mario.
Hey Wayne, thanks for speaking with us.
Hi.
I just want to ask, with the injury to Martin Rodriguez, what it was announced yesterday, how does his injury have you adjusting to the starting lineup going forward for the season?
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Martin. He picked up a serious knee injury, so it's a shame because he had the shoulder injury earlier on in the pre-season and now his knee. So it's something which we're looking at, we're addressing, and we're seeing. We're looking into potential players who can come in and maybe replace Martin, certainly for this season. So again, we've been looking to bring more players in, and hopefully we can get that done in the next 1 to 2 weeks.
Next, we'll go to Steve DeShazo.
Hi, Wayne. one of the players that I assume may fit into that is Jackson Hopkins. Just wanted to see what your thoughts were of him last year and what you've seen of him so far this year.
Yeah, I think he's done really well for us last year, and in a very difficult situation. He come in and he played quite a few games to a consistent level for us last year, and again he'll be an important player for us. He's great ability, both feet. He's a good size, very energetic, so he'll be an important player. As will the likes of Matai, the likes of Koo. The young lads who've come in, I've been really impressed with pre-season, and as I said last year, it's about finding the right balance of using the young players at the right times, because we can't forget they are young players and they need that bedding in time. So but I think throughout the pre-season they've been fantastic. Great attitude from all of them, and I'd have no problem throwing any of them in and starting any of the three players, because they apply themselves really well. They're very professional. They come in, train hard every single day, and that's the reason they're with us, because of that, and also the quality.
And then the last two we'll go to Jason first, and then Jose.
Wayne, to sort of follow up on one of the earlier questions with the injury to Martin, I was just curious. I know Derek Williams, Brendan Heinzlike, those guys are still out for a bit. What's the status of the rest of the squad in terms of just availability for Saturday?
Yeah, as you said, there's Derek, Brendan, and Martin who are injured. The rest of the squad is available and ready to play. So we're in pretty good shape at the minute. So yeah, it's my job now to make sure I try and pick the best team as possible to go and get 3 points.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Jose.
Wayne, Christian came in around the same time you did, Christian Benteke. Now that he's had a full off season and preseason, and you've had the time to acclimate, both of you, what are the expectations and what have you seen so far this preseason that have you excited to have him now playing full time with United?
Yeah, he worked extremely hard in the off season. He's come back in with a great determination to be successful and to score goals. So throughout the pre-season he's trained every day. He looks fit, he looks sharp, and yeah, I think we're excited to have him for the full season, and because if we get him scoring goals and playing the way we know we can play, then he'll be a huge player for us. Thank you.
Awesome. Just want to follow up on Ravel, where things stand and why you haven't gone forward with him after bringing him in last season.
Yeah, no, I think I have to look at the squad and obviously how it works in terms of international players and budget within the squad, and these are things I've taken into account, and it's something which we're still looking at. So Ravel won't be involved this weekend, and we've basically got 24 hours before we register our squad, which I'm sure you'll see which way we go then.
Good. Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Cheers.